fame doesn't mean that you made it. Stupid people are getting famous online. Again, I'm not disrespecting anybody.
I know.
And they're making millions of dollars off a talent. Maybe it's numbers. It's all numbers, Anna. Unfortunately, we're like, oh, we didn't know you could do comedy. Oh, hell yeah, I can do comedy. I can do anything, man. I'm an actor. I should be trained. I should be flexible. I should be okay doing anything, Again, no hate, but like, how come Johnny Depp can play whatever he wants? John Travolta, I'm naming just these names. They
Yes.
slap a beard, sneak them bald, put all this VFX or special effects on them, and transform them. Why the average actor not able? Give him a chance and show him how he can kick butt,
Hello and welcome to Ego Was Here. Today I'm joined by Danny Boushebel, an actor and storyteller whose path from Lebanon to Hollywood has brought powerful characters to life. Hello, Danny.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing. I think you're an amazing, wonderful person, and you have a nice show going on. So I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you so much, Danny. It means a lot coming from you. It means a lot. Danny, I wanted to ask you, coming from Lebanon, you were born there.
Yes,
So
I was
growing up
born in.
during the war, what do you remember most from that time?
Wow, a lot of stuff, actually, a lot of stuff. But fortunately, when I and my late brother he was about 6, I was about 4. My parents fled out of Lebanon. They
Mhm.
left, they moved to Kuwait. Fortunately, my dad had a job there, and then my mom moved there. My brother was born in Kuwait, and I was born in Lebanon. So they were going back and forth until they settled in Kuwait. So I kind of grew up in Lebanon at the later years. I don't recall the war when I was like 2 or 3.
Mhm.
Very, very like foggy, But I
Yes.
remember the wars in Lebanon in the 80s and the 90s because I was there. I lived there. I was going to college there to the American University, and it was horrible. I mean, the sights, the things we've seen, the things we've endured, and it's sad that until this very day we're still not there yet. You know what I mean? This is an ongoing thing, which is sad and has been dragging out for too long. But
Mm.
we did see we spent nights in shelters. We had bombs. Our alarms sometimes were the bombs, and from the sound of the bomb, we knew where it was coming from and who was bombing who, and like it's stuff you only see in movies
Yes.
that we lived through. So telling people here sometimes or anywhere for this matter around the world, like it's hard to relate. They don't know. They're like, oh, you have PTSD. I'm like, no, it's not PTSD. I mean, maybe it's some part of our you know
Of
body.
course.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
of course, this lives with you. But then you heal over time. You heal. You find ways to get out of that or to deal with it, and particularly about 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, before my brother passed away, he had COVID. My only brother, my only sibling, he had COVID, and he passed 10 days later. um, I was lucky to tell him that I had written a script that I'm trying to get made, a feature script, which had a lot of me as a younger adult, and then me with flashback scenes with my brother when we were like 8, 10, 12, 13 years old. And uh, a lot of that script is called the Olive Branch. A lot of that script has 80% like events of things that really happened in Lebanon. with us, with my mom, with myself, my brother, the things we saw. So to circle back to answering your question, I think when this movie gets made, a lot of the scenes that will be exposed and shown in the movie will kind of give you an idea of what these eyes saw and what we felt, you know, because a lot of the scenes are very raw, very vivid, and I still remember them. Obviously, I wrote them, but it helped me heal. And so when my brother was in the hospital, I was able to tell him, "Come on, you got to get better. You got to get out." And I sent him. I said, "The script has scenes of us," and he sent me smiling emojis and whatnot, and then nothing. The last thing I got from him was a red heart, and that's it. So I feel now more inclined to even put that script out there because it's a tribute to him
Of
and a
course.
tribute to myself. I lost my dad when I was around 18. He was only 46. And it was so pivotal in my acting career and to everything I still do till this day. And the motivation behind moving and coming here to pursue my dream and follow my dream. Because that same week my dad was coming, we were putting on a major production in Lebanon. And a week before the show was about to start is when he passed. And then they had to stop everything because I was the lead. I was playing two twin brothers in this production, and then they had to stop for a couple of weeks, because of what I was going.
Of course, of
And
course.
that was the first inciting incident, like in scripts, inciting incident for me to really push and follow, my passion that's been instilled in me since I was a kid, since I was in Kuwait. I was a little kid, growing up, and I always was, like so in love and enamored with Hollywood and with everything, with the self-expression, with all that. And people used to, like, at that time, mock. They're like, "Okay, you want to become a Hollywood actor? Okay, how are you going to do that? You're in Kuwait." Or like they would mock me or say something, and it wasn't just friends. Over the years, it was ex-girlfriends,
Hmm.
and hence the fact that there are exes. Because had I listened to any of those, I wouldn't be where I am today. And
Oh, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
no, no, I stuck to my guns. I made a pledge to go all the way, all the way. People say you got to have a plan B. I say no. When plan A fails, you regroup and you go back to plan A.
Yes, yes.
If you
Yeah,
want
I
to achieve
totally agree.
plan A,
Yes.
if you want to achieve plan A, eventually you have to keep at it because you never know how close you are to your ultimate break. You never know. It could be your next job, you
Of
know.
course.
Like
Yes, yes, yes.
last week I put myself out a couple of auditions to a couple of new shows. One of them
Mhm.
filming in New York, and you never know. That could be the one that's the ultimate game changer for the acting career that I've been working on for almost 20 years here in Hollywood. I've gotten a lot of nice breaks here and there. But anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But if that
No, no, no,
answers
no,
your,
no. Please. Danny, how did all those experiences shape your acting?
um, it's funny, because over the years I got to play a lot of the same kind of roles: the
Hmm.
bad guy, the Muslim guy when I'm not even Muslim. It's all good, but then there came a time where things shifted a bit, and I got something totally different, But my background and growing up in Kuwait and having Kuwait, Lebanon, I've even lived in London where I went to acting school many moons ago. Um, I was integrated with all walks of life growing up, and my control over certain languages, the French, the English, the Arabic, the linguistics helped me a lot, because sometimes I had to go in and do a scene in, like, Pashto, which is in Afghanistan. And it's funny because years ago, even when I went into auditions, things would be like, "Oh, you must speak Arabic." But I would walk in, I'm like, "Man, they don't speak Arabic in Afghanistan." They just read the Quran. The Muslims read the Quran, and they read the classical Arabic, which is Shakespeare. It's not even the slang Arabic that you know. They just know how to read the letters. They've studied because they study it.
Hmm.
So I was at times like I remember one time in Philadelphia, Philly, there was a show, Political Animals. I went in and I memorized like two pages, a long scene in Farsi, and I'm not even Iranian, or I don't speak Farsi. But I've come to a point where these roles help me expand my muscles for acting, for languages, because I have to do a lot of research to learn it, so that when I go in and I deliver these lines, people automatically think that I am like Persian. They
Hmm.
wouldn't know. I did a play in 2009 in New York City. It ran for a week. It's in the New York Times if you look it up, called Baghdadi Bath. A lot of people came and they were flocking to watch it. It was a hit. Um, After the show, people would come to like talk to me, and they're like, "Oh man, which part of Iraq are you from?" I'm like, "I'm not Iraqi, man. I'm Lebanese." So over the years,
Yes.
all these challenging roles and situations that I was put in was good, was great. It shows you that we are not limited to what we are. We can always grow beyond and outside that box. And then I started getting other roles, like on HBO. I played a role that wasn't Middle Eastern, that wasn't a bad guy. Well, he was a fun bad guy because it was a comedy, but I got a little bit of a chance to showcase something that the world that watches these films and TV shows haven't seen me in. They're like, "Oh, we didn't know you could do comedy." Oh, hell yeah, I can do comedy. I can do anything, man. I'm an actor. I should be trained. I should be flexible. I should be okay doing anything. Again, no hate, but like, how come Johnny Depp can play whatever he wants? John Travolta, I'm naming just these names. They
Yes. Yes.
slap a beard, sneak them bald, put all this VFX or special effects on them, and transform them.
Hmm.
Why is the average actor not able? Give him a chance and show him how he can kick butt. Give him a shot. So when that came to a point, you feel like you're always being put in a box. That's when I started writing. I started creating my own stuff. I'm like, you know what? This is great, but I'm going to create roles for myself
For
that I
yourself.
haven't had
Yes.
a chance. That I
Hmm.
for well, not just for myself, but for myself and other actors, because it, this is not a one-way street. This
No, 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 no,
business,
no.
But I want to create for me and for other actors and give them a shot when I can, because I was deprived. It's like sort of giving back, besides just helping myself elevate myself and be more in creative control and be more of the path, the journey that I'm on. Because again, this is not a sprint; it's a marathon. We go through ebbs and flows, chapters and chapters, up and down. We're ready to throw in the towel, then we come back. No, we love it. You know, it's a love hate relationship,
Yes. Yes.
and it's business, because people ask me a lot of times, "Oh, well, so especially when I started writing, they were like, 'Oh, so you're not acting anymore?'" I'm like, "Dude, I'm an actor, man. If you look me up, I'm an actor by trade. I'm an actor, and I'm still an actor, and my first passion is acting, and I love acting. But I've directed, I've produced, I've written several scripts that are multi-award winning worldwide. That doesn't mean I'm not an actor anymore, but
Of course
I'm
not.
well vested with the whole thing, and it's great. Even for me as an actor, this is great. But reading scripts over the years and playing these parts that I've played have taught me a lot of stuff. I never went to writing school. I never went to, took courses on writing, on formatting the script so it looks like in a,
Hmm.
Hollywood pitch perfect, ready script format, like on Final Draft.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It
Yes.
was trial and error. It was trial and error, and we keep learning. I don't know it all. We just keep learning, because the landscape is changing so much and so fast that you got to keep evolving. Like, once you think you figured something out, poof, something comes
Something else.
sideways,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
now we're into micro dramas. Like 5 years ago, I tried pitching a short to Quibi. Quibi was a content, I don't know if you've heard of Quibi. They did short content, like 5 minute, 10 minute shows, but
Yes,
they
yes.
attached, yeah, Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman. And when we were pitching it, a producer friend pitched it, and then to CAA, then Quibi went down. That was around COVID because they launched during COVID. Then they're like, oh, COVID screwed us. No, because they were paying such big budgets on such little content. I guess now we've come full circle with that because now the micro dramas are here, the 1 to 2 minutes. So
Mhm.
I went in and I created a show that's um, in the vein of Squid Games, and I wrote it before Squid Games was out. I didn't even it wasn't even out on Netflix. I guess it was in post production before they wanted to post it on Netflix, but I created it. And then a month later, Squid Games comes out. A friend of mine, a writer director friend, he's like, Danny, wow, man, this is like your show. So I'm like, and it's happened so many times where, you know, things you create or things that you do come out because it's all a universal consciousness that's out there. I'm not the only
Yes.
writer, the only creator who's trying to create, but ideas are out there floating for everybody. I'm not saying it is like Squid Games, but it's amazing. Then I went back to the drawing board. I redrafted it. I made it a half hour with the 4 episodes, a limited series. So you gotta, again, every time you feel like you've figured something out, something comes and sideswipes you, and like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But the thing is, when you love something, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep rolling with the punches and the challenges
Yes.
because this is what we love. This is what we were born to do. You know,
Was there a moment that you wanted to give up?
a couple of times,
And
a
what
couple
kept you?
of times. Um, I always went back and I remembered how much I wanted to do what I'm doing and how much I loved it as a kid
Uh-huh.
and how I couldn't and how I would give up everything to just do what I want to do. And here I am, and 5, 10, 15 years into the business with so many breaks, you know. Now you want to give up? It's a shame.
Yeah.
And it's not an ego thing because I have zero ego. Zero ego. And if I had more ego back in the day when we were younger and getting into this business really humbles you
In what ways?
because everybody thinks they're the next James Bond, they're the next this, they're the next that. There's so many factors in this business beyond us, beyond us and beyond our control. I think at the end of the day, it's just your tenacity, which which is a nickname my wife calls me, Tenacious D,
Really?
Tenacious Danny, because I keep going back and going back, and your relation with your almighty, whatever it is, God, for me, Jesus,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Uh-huh.
and your relation to God, like you question yourself sometimes. You're like, God, so why did you get me all the way here to leave me hanging? You know, is this it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm here. I just did a Super Bowl commercial. I'm here. I made so much whatever money. Well, it's not about the money. It's the credit and the exposure and that.
Yes,
And
yes.
then from hero to zero. Well, you took me from zero to hero. Now from hero to zero.
Sure.
So you go up. I'm telling you, it's like a roller coaster. One day you're here, the next day you're up, and then you're back down again, and then you're back up. If you're okay dealing with all the ebbs and flows in this business, then I think you're solid. And
Mhm.
it's only a matter of time but you got to be realistic too. You got to keep reevaluating things, reassessing things, see where you are, where your mindset are, where you are, where your goals, reevaluate your goals in this business. Because a lot of people in the outside world think that if you are not an A-lister, you're not a working actor, you're not, making money. If you're
Yes,
not
yes,
famous,
yes.
if you're not famous, and the one thing that ruined all that, it started with reality TV, where normal people became famous, and now it's even worse because you have your influencers. Now they're going after influencers because they have a following, 10 million, 20 million. They don't care about credentials, they don't care about your talent, they don't care about how you look.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a numbers game at the end of the day for the studios, which is very sad because it takes away from the art of creating and being an artist.
Of
And
course.
that sure, I don't want to curse, but that sure puts a garlic crusher on your ego over the years, seeing the bitter, how you lost a role just because, I did this audition, not to mention names or shows or anything. I did this audition for a show for a heavy recurring guest on a new show. It was just starting and it was doing great. I go in and the director is an actor, the director of that episode. He loves it. I get pinned for the role. Then 3 weeks later, I'm just curious. I'm looking up on IMDb. Well, let's see who's on the show. Who books that role? His cousin.
Oh,
Who I have more credits than he did.
of
You
course.
know
Yeah.
what I mean? Now you
Yes.
can't beat a cousin.
No, you cannot. You cannot.
I mean, not a neighbor, not a friend, a cousin, the first cousin. You can't beat that. So what I'm trying to say, and again, I'm all for love and for all that, but I'm just saying that sometimes these things are beyond your control, and no matter how good you are,
Yeah.
this business will humble you in one way or the other, regardless of who you think you are, who you think you can be, who, whatever, again, then I fall back to the relationship with my superpower, my God, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so there's a lesson there, or we just shake it off and we keep going again.
Yes.
Nothing is perfect in this business, nothing, unfortunately. Then you fight to get to the top. Then you get to the top. Then you get sideswiped at the top, or who knows? That might be your first and last gig. Who knows? Nobody knows. You got to be in for the long run for this business and be able to sustain yourself. Find the
Mm-hmm.
support. Find the people that love you for who you are and what you're trying to, achieve, regardless, and not judge you. And if they want to judge you, they better give you money to help you. They might as well. If you want to come and judge me, and since you're not helping me financially or any other way, might as well give me money, man. Help me out. You know what I mean?
Of course. Of course.
Because I'm a struggle. I'm not talking about myself, but like in general, like as a struggling actor. But you want to come knock me down? You don't knock down a cow when the cow is down on the ground.
Mm.
Don't. You either support it, or if you don't find those things and people, you just walk away. You find your tribe. You find your tribe, whatever it is.
Danny, have you made any friends inside the industry?
I have, I know some friends. But again,
Because a lot of times I ask people who are in Hollywood, like, how do you make it in Hollywood? Is it about who you know? Is it about how good you are and what you do? Uh, and everybody says, it's all of those things together. Like,
it's
uh,
all of them together. It's all of them together. I think if the recipe is just again, just longevity and just trying to stay positive. and be open, have an open mind and an open heart. And I think again, every time we talk, I'm gonna retrace back to belief and faith. I think I'm here because of my faith. If it's not
Yes.
for faith, believe me, I would have thrown the towel. And you asked me, and I told you several times I was ready to quit. But then I'm like, nope, not today. And I shake it off. And then guess what? A week or two later, I get a big break. And then I'm like, God, you were
Mm,
testing my
yes.
patience. And I
Yes.
stuck through it.
Uh-huh.
And then you're on a high again. Yay. And then you're on a low again.
And again, hey, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
your
why I don't
way.
like roller coaster rides.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's your way of staying true to yourself while being in
Yes,
this competitive industry.
you have to stay true to yourself, because you know what? At the end of the day, if you quit, it might make some people sad, but it's gonna make a whole lot of people who are hating on you very happy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
I'm sure.
that can be from the closest people in your life, in your
Mm,
circle, your family.
mm. Yes, yes, yes.
I don't trust anyone but God and Jesus. That's me.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, should find the power within themselves and within something they believe in. And, again, I'm here because of my faith in God.
Danny, what does success mean to you now compared to when you started? Has it changed over time?
Yeah. 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 Like I said, you have to reassess, you have to reevaluate things. You know, success to me now is continuously creating and working on things that mean something to you, whatever they are, and being able to sustain yourself financially and a family. I have a family. I have a wife. I have a 12-year-old boy. So it's even harder.
Yeah.
It's not as easy. I'm not just a man all by myself worrying about just myself. So um, success is, I think, coming to a point where you are free. Um, Free meaning on in a lot of different ways. One is financial.
Hmm.
Once you're at a point where finances will not get in your way, because you cannot take this job because you have to go work and pay a bill or a rent or something, which is very, very hard for us actors because there's no consistency
Yeah, yeah, of course.
unless we're on a job long enough to earn enough where we can sustain ourselves for long enough. And not everybody's as educated when it comes to like investing or doing something when you get that money. Thank
Hmm.
God that's my background, a little bit. So I kind of,
Yes.
dabble with that.
Hmm.
I used to be a stockbroker a long time ago, and now, I've worked a lot of corporate jobs, but then the time came a long time ago where I said goodbye corporate job, goodbye stability, financial stability. I knew what I was walking away from: the pain, the agony, the tears, the blood, the sacrifice. I knew it very well. But guess what? I knew in my heart of hearts that I will get there eventually. One way or the other, I will get there or get to a point where I am content with how far I've come. Like I was talking to a friend of mine 2 days ago. We were texting, and I'm like, we had this meeting, Zoom meeting with a producer, distributor, financier. It drained the heck out of me. 3, 4 hours, 2 days in a row. And whatever the outcome is, I just walked away and I'm like, you know what? Oh man, this is crazy. I don't think this is it, or is it? Because I don't want to give hints to, in case they watch this. But not now. Not now doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. Not now. I don't like the setup. I don't like certain things,
Yeah.
Um, and then we were talking, texting, and I said, you know what? One day you're gonna, and she's younger than I am. I said, one day we're gonna have this text back and forth again, and you're gonna be laughing at where we are. She said, why? I said, because I never look back. But when we cross that bridge, we're only going to look back, and I will remind you, you're going to look back at this moment and we're going to have a laugh, because we are only supposed to look back only to see how far we've come in anything in life.
Yes.
We're not going to live down memory lane. The past is not going to serve us. The future is not going to serve us. The present now. So when we look back, you only want to look back and pat yourself on the back, say, hey, Danny, hey, Anna, you did great. You did the best that you can.
Yes. Yes.
It might not be great in other people's eyes. Oh, you didn't make it. You're not that famous. Fame is not, doesn't mean you made it. Just fame. Stupid people are getting famous online. Again, I'm not disrespecting anybody.
I know.
And they're making millions of dollars off a talent. Maybe it's numbers. It's all numbers, Anna. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I think people need to go back to the basics. The basics of things in life.
Danny, why do you think that all of those people chase fame so badly? Like, what are they trying to? Uh,
Achieve.
yes,
It could be
or
when
mask,
I'm not a
mask,
psychiatrist or psychologist, but I think it could be a lot of it is stemming from lack of attention or insecurities. A lot of insecurities.
because now with
We
social
all have
media,
insecurity. I'm
of course,
sorry.
now with social media, everyone is comparing themselves to somebody else. There's all these uh, contest. Who's gonna be first? Who has the more likes? Who has, you know? And I see that even actors, like people get jobs from having more followers, having more likes. Um, so I don't know. What's your opinion on that on social media?
I mean,
'Cause for me, it's a
it's
great
not
tool.
just
You know,
it's not just social media. I mean, for years, for many years now, a lot of the producers tried to cut corners, not the studios. Well, maybe, but the producers.
Hmm.
A lot of them tried to cut corners. A lot of them tried to do stuff that was non-union. So a lot of SAG actors went FICOR, and they still can because they wanted to work, but they were jeopardizing. Why would you do that? If a lot of these actors, I mean, again, I'm not judging anyone. Everybody does it for their own reason, financial, whatever, but why would you jeopardize? You worked so hard to get in the union. You dreamt of becoming a union actor. Then you went FICOR to do non-union. So the more people did that, the more the producers were happy and the more content was being made with people with FICOR or non-union. They were not paying scale. Instead of making whatever, just a number, instead of getting paid whatever, again, just a number. But let's say you're getting 1,000 a day, you're getting 150, maybe cash at the end of. Why? Means you're not true to your craft. You're
Yep.
not. But again, I'm not judging. You know, everybody can do whatever they want, but I feel like we got to a point where a lot of these people were willing to do it just because they were desperate. Okay, I see, I understand that. But that eventually was like a snowball effect. It kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when they saw that, then they started seeing more numbers and more numbers. Then they're like, you know what? Then the explosion of social media, your Instagram, your TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I never had a Snapchat, and I don't care to get it. Good. I'm happy for everyone that did, everyone
Yes.
that makes $1 million a month. But you know, I'm an actor, and I didn't want to venture down that road. And you know what? I have a life outside that. I
Mhm.
have a family. I have my son. I do not want to be a slave to what I do. A slave, meaning I have to go and do these videos every day so I can hit the targets and just do jumping jacks or whatever, or
Yeah.
women, a lot of the show nudity or OnlyFans and all. So it didn't matter. At some point, it was more about eyeballs, where they can get the eyeballs. Oh, you have a huge following, then let's get them, on board. It will give you on the back end a percentage plus, whatever upfront, because they know the minute they blast it on social media, their project is going to get seen. Eyeballs. It's all about the eyeballs.
Yeah.
The studios, on the other hand, work differently. But again, the studio started filming outside because they were getting tax incentives. Why do you think I moved out of LA? When I moved to LA 11 years ago, I didn't think I would move out of LA because I came to a point where I felt like I don't need to be in LA anymore.
Mm.
Don't. When I was in New York, everybody was like, oh, you have to be in LA. When you're in LA, okay. I went to LA and I got a lot of jobs. I got a lot of big jobs. I got a Super Bowl commercial. I did a couple of TV gigs on whatever NCIS Los Angeles, and which I'm grateful for all. I did a music video with Alicia Keys.
Mhm.
I had a lot of nice breaks, but then things were filming outside. I felt like when I moved to LA, I was getting auditions and jobs back in New York and New Jersey, where I was initially. I was living there for 15, 20 years. Now I'm in LA. Now I'm booking jobs here. Now I'm booking jobs in Canada, in Toronto. When I first left New York, I auditioned for a movie. I met the director, and back then she was the reader with me in the room. Now she's his wife. I auditioned for that in June, and then we moved out like in July of 2014. My son was only 10 months old. He was born in New Jersey, but he grew up all these years in LA. I get to LA 2 months later. My agent calls me. He's like, Danny, they want you for the job. Okay, what are we doing? You're flying to Morocco to film this movie for 3 weeks. Yay. Oh, you just you just never know where your next job is. When I was in Santorini 2 years ago in the summer, I was auditioning. I read for two series regular roles for a new show on Hulu.
Mhm.
I filmed it from my hotel room in Santorini. One, and then we flew back to Athens to Glifada. We were there, and then I taped for the other role. My cousin actually helped me because I didn't have my camera, I didn't have my setup. I went to Europe just to with the family to enjoy. But I'm always ready when the opportunity comes.
Yeah.
When I was in Romania, well, we went for a week to Romania. Now I move here last week. I just not even last week, Friday. I sent a tape for something in California. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And when you're there, you're getting something in Italy. I just 3 weeks ago, I auditioned for more, actually, a month ago. I auditioned for something shooting in Korea, South Korea, a Netflix show. And I can go on and on. In Hungary, in Bulgaria, in Greece, like everywhere, everywhere. They're filming everywhere. So that started happening. Then they started filming, wanting to film outside America. Okay, a couple of my projects are set in Europe, in Lebanon, a lot of them in America. You can shoot literally anywhere,
Where? Mm.
where you're blessed with, with the right producers, the right funding, the investors coming on board, you're going to do what's best. But now they were talking about the 100% tariffs on anything filmed outside of America, which came out like a month ago. I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe that wasn't such a great idea. I don't know, like you just never know, Anna,
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
but what you know is that you have to be ready, because an opportunity will come like this at any time, anywhere in the world, and you just have to be ready to jump on it, you know.
Danny, can you tell me your best moment, your best experience in the industry, and your worst? Like, what is your best moment?
I've had a lot of great moments. I've had a lot of great moments with very known actors, I've had a lot of great moments and I'm grateful for them. And I've had one crappy moment, but I can't obviously give,
Oh, the
details
name,
and
of course
name.
not. No, no, no.
Oh, no. I can't, because there's a lot of big people like that were there and involved, and you know but it was on big stuff, a big TV series that
Mhm,
has won tons of Emmys. You know what? Now, in retrospect, they're all little stories to tell, but I have a lot of very good, thank goodness I've been blessed everywhere I worked. Most of my experiences were amazing. The people were kind. Other actors like myself and other actors who are more established, they were all kind. They were all good for the most part. So I can't say, um, I've come across a couple of not so nice people, but it's okay.
mhm.
Maybe they're having a bad day.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever, whatever. I always go and show up, and I'm drama free again. My mind's open, my heart's open. I just walk away, walk away. If there's anything that's negative, I try to steer away from. That's all I
Do
can
you
say, but I cannot say any names. Sorry.
not even for your best moment?
Well, I mean, again, I've had several best moments, but like one of them that I like cherish
Mhm.
was when I worked with Lucy Liu on Elementary, the show, and how beautiful of a person she is, and how kind and how giving she is, how open and how kind, and I have the utmost respect for her and love. Lucy Liu,
Mhm.
she was very very kind, very giving, selfless, no
That's
ego,
very
no
nice.
nothing. We spent times talking too on set, and off, when we were not rolling, and she did a lot of kind gestures too. That was really really nice. Like when we were filming, it was cold actually. It was in New York, and um, the camera was on them, and I was in my with my coat in the car, but then the camera turned. We're doing the reverse shot, and it was on me, and then I had to take off my coat. I had a long coat, um, and then she said, "Here, Danny, give it to me," and she held it throughout the shoot. I said, "No, no, Lucy, no, they'll come and grab it." She's like, "No, no, I got it." She held my coat, like, I'm like, wow, this woman is amazing. She's not only beautiful, not only a talented actress and a director, because she's directed some episodes of Elementary. And I'm a fan because I grew up watching her, loving her work, loving her, you know, and now it's full circle. I'm working with her, and now I'm getting all the love back in different ways. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's these moments that make you remember why you got in this for the first place. Not about fame, not about money.
Mm.
I come up with people, they're like, hey, you know what? I'm a natural. I can be an actor. I can act. I'm like, okay. Yeah, sure you can. Of course you can. I'm like, yeah, you should go pursue it. Let's talk after 6 months or a year of rejection. Of
Yeah.
rejection,
Yes.
and then let's have the same conversation, my friend. Said, but
Yeah.
please, if this is what you love, you should do it because I love it, and that's why I did it, and I still do it regardless.
Yeah.
But
So,
people
so
don't
what's
know.
what do you think people misunderstand about mostly about actors?
Uh,
People that are not in the industry.
well, they don't. All they see is the glitz and glamour, and oh, he's there, he's on TV, he's this, he did that. They forget, I think, that we are just humans, just like them. We are human beings. We got a heart that pumps just like them. We are just artists. We are artists. We are transparent. We're very vulnerable, sensitive. We're the most wrecked sometimes, because we have to be in tune with things, but at the same time we have to have it together.
Hmm.
So people, a lot of people are harsh on the actors. Or they disrespect. Oh, you haven't made it big, so when do you think you're going to give this up? Or what? Not to, like, in general, a lot of times over the years, the stuff I've heard, and from the closest people. So are you making money always? So if not, what are you going to do? Go get a real job. Like shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
you hear over the years, I'm like, gosh, please go jump off a cliff, find a cliff, and just get over your misery, man. You're miserable. I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy to be broke and pursuing what I love. Just leave me the F alone.
You're awesome.
People are funny,
Yeah.
but like, not to say other things. But yeah, people think that we're just, um, and then they wonder why certain people have an attitude when they've reached a certain level, why they keep distant, why they're not approachable, why, like,
Because they've been through so much.
because, yeah, like, you don't know what to expect.
Yes.
Like, so many times but that all goes back to what kind of person you are initially. If you're a good person or you're not a good person deep inside.
Mm.
Sometimes fame and whatever gets to your head, makes you like think you have a godlike syndrome. No, man, no. Stay humble. Stay on the ground. That's good. All you have is not you, it's God's blessing on you. You're just a vessel for everything in life. And I am so happy and grateful to be that vessel for whatever it is that I am meant to do on this earth, my physical presence on this earth.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
all the glory, it's God's glory, not me. I'm just a vessel.
Yeah. Do you ever feel that act has helped you heal parts of yourself while stepping into other
Absolutely.
shoes? You
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. 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 Uh, it's triggered certain things in certain
Uh,
situations, certain roles you play. It triggers certain traumas, moments in your life where
you recall.
you visit you visit those situations maybe one last time, and they trigger certain things that you need for your deliveries, your performances. But then once you do it, and then the director calls cut, you feel like you lifted a weight off your shoulder for some reason.
Yes. Yes.
You feel
Yes.
like you played it out, but in a different way. You've played it out, you've healed, but you feel like you've channeled it in the right way for something that's so rewarding to you because you love what you do, and you're
Mm-hmm.
so truthful and authentic. You want to bring authenticity to the role. We are actors, but we're not supposed to act. We are supposed to be, to
To
exist.
be.
We're not
Mm-hmm.
actors. We put on a show and start doing hula hoops and whatever. No, we're supposed to embody these characters and be them,
Yes. Yes.
you know. So it is healing. At times it is healing, like you asked. It
Yeah.
is.
And what's the most valuable lesson life has taught you so far?
Not to take anything for granted. Not to take anything or anyone for granted.
Mm.
We've
Yeah.
we've all we've all done it at some point in our life. And whoever says they haven't, that's not true. We've all at some point taken something for granted or someone for granted. And at the end of the day, I don't think any of that stuff matter. What matters, what you're going to take with you, is the reputation that you leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
People will might forget what you said to them. You know that saying. But people will never forget how you made them feel.
Mm. Yes.
That burns, that hurts deep inside, deeper than words. How they
Mm-hmm.
felt from what you said or what you did.
Danny, who or what inspires you most today?
My son, my son.
Mm.
And it's amazing how he came into my life at a very crucial time. That's God's gift to us and to me. And I think my son has saved me from a lot. And he's not here. He's in school now, so I can say whatever the F I want.
Yes.
But maybe one day he'll watch this. I don't know. But I think my son has saved
Tell
me
me
from a
how
lot of,
much fatherhood has changed you and
oh,
what part,
wow.
because I'm a
In
totally
every,
different person after giving my birth to my daughter. I mean, I totally understand
huh?
what you're saying.
Oh, how old is she young
Nine and
too?
a half. 9.5.
9? Oh, we
Yeah, they're
should
very
introduce
close.
myself.
Yeah.
We should introduce my son to your daughter. Oh,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think my son has saved me from a lot of things. My whole purpose, my whole life has changed. Everything, my perspective.
Mm.
I mean, it was one initially for one person, myself. And then it was the wife. It's two for two. Now it's for three. Again, I was having the same conversation with my friend 2 days ago, the one I told her about looking back. She's like, I don't know if you want to go with this or not. And I said, you know what? I act in life and make decisions based on intentions,
Mhm.
not urgency. My only urgency in life is the safety of me, my wife, my son, my mom, our safety, our health. This is the most urgent matter.
Mhm.
Everything else is tortilla chips, and I don't care for them that much. You know,
Mm.
if somebody's going to tell me, oh, you got to do this by tonight, no, no, man, no, no. I told him, because when I make a decision, I'm not making a decision for one person.
Yes,
Anything
yes,
I'm going to
yes.
say,
I
anything I'm going to say or do is going to affect them one way or the other now, or maybe 10 years down the line, or 20 years down the line. So I have to always think about the three of us and not just myself. So you lose that selfishness that
yes.
you have when you're alone and you're single. That's one. You learn unconditional love. Unconditional love. I've never loved anything more than
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you do the same.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
you come sometimes to a point where you forget yourself. I'm always forgetting myself. I have to remind myself that, wait, hey, or sometimes remind him, wait, hey, your dad is Danny Boushebel, because sometimes he would be playing with friends, and friends like, no, they've seen me like on Stranger Things or whatever, one of the shows that I've done. My son looks at me like the other day, every time they talk, uh, be like, they tell him he's on his Xbox. He's like, say hello to your dad. He looks, they don't know me. They've never met me in person, but they know that he's my son
Yeah.
or I'm his dad. They're like, say hello to your dad. He looks at me, hello. And I say hello. 10 minutes later, I walk out. I leave them there playing. I walk back in the room. Hey, Sebastian, we're talking. He's Derek says, he says hello again. I'm like, didn't you just say, yeah, hello? Like, these little funny moments kind of remind me of who I am, because I'm saying we forget who we are. We're so selfless that
Hmm.
everything we do is for them.
Yes. Yes.
And I
But
love that.
there is a
I
relief to
love
that, you know.
Yes, I love that. That's what
Yes.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
because it
Yes.
takes so much pressure of you taking yourself too seriously and be like, oh wait, I am so no, you know what? You're just human being human, feeling the feels, all the emotions, and it's worth more money, a lot more money than the money we make in the business. That's money that you'll never get back.
For sure.
Moments you will never get back.
For
I could
sure.
tell you about incidents on sets with so and so and so and so and so and so, but these moments mean so much more as a human being and life. And this is what makes my life rich, is the unconditional love that I have for him and for them, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
But a nice fat paycheck will help too. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Always. 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 It's for them. It's for them.
Yes, yes. No, it's for all of us.
Or yeah.
We
Yes.
got to go get a nice massage, have fun, relax.
Yeah.
we
Exactly.
can't we can't we can't neglect ourselves, because if we fall,
Mm.
they'll be affected, and
Of course they will. Of course they will.
you have to treat yourself, do your retail therapy, shopping, do your massage, do your vacation when you can, your alone time. I love my alone time. I have alone time every day, a half hour, 1 hour alone, whether I'm taking a walk, whether I'm just sitting on the patio, whatever it is. I love my alone time. That's when I'm with my thoughts and with myself alone.
Yes.
I'm not alone
Yes.
with a million thoughts, but I'm alone.
You can never get rid of those thoughts. Yeah, I know. Danny, so tell me, and you shared the screen with some huge names like George Clooney, Ben Affleck, Nicole Kidman, Keanu Reeves. What was it like being on set with them? Like, do A-listers bring some, you know, anxiety to an actor that is not considered an A-lister? Like,
It's funny. One of them was one of the actors that when I finished acting school, we had to do 3 monologues, and one of them was for that actor. It was a full circle moment, you know. I don't um I didn't feel maybe okay, anxiety. It's more excitement.
excitement. Yeah, 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 excitement.
I don't think I was afraid. I was never intimidated. Um, it's actually great because you learn to elevate yourself to that level and work, vibe with that energy. At the end of the day, you wouldn't be there if you didn't, for whatever reason, you are there. So you are there. You take that moment, and it shouldn't get you. A little nervousness is fine, but as long as it doesn't mess up your performance. to the point where you're like starstruck. Oh my God, I love you. Like, no, man, you got to go do your job. You're there. You're an actor. You're not there because you're working with your fan crush, that you grew up with and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. Again, it's like it's a full circle moment. It's the universe and God showing you that you are where you need to be. And in this moment of time, in time, you are meant to be in the presence with these people for whatever reason it is.
Hmm. Yes.
You've earned it.
Danny, what advice would you give to new actors that want to break in the industry?
Work on your social media.
Yeah. And be famous for a month. In reality, like, don't be always to like, work.
No, my advice is be ready for a long journey, a long ups and downs. And again, you have always exceptions to the rule. These are the 1 in 100, where they come out of nowhere and straight there. But if you really want to take this seriously and you love it, be prepared for uh, a lot of challenges and a lot of different ways, a lot of letdowns, a lot of rejections. Again, they're not rejections. They're again, if you're a believer, they're or the universe. I'm gonna say for the people who don't believe in God or God's or the universe's redirection. And no now doesn't mean no forever. It means not yet. But if you want to get there, just keep doing it and working on yourself and your craft. Find creative ways to stay in that circle. Keep finding little things that keep that fire inside of you that reminds you every time it dims or goes down. It kind of reminds you why you got into this in the first place.
Yes.
But be ready. It's going to be hard, but it's so rewarding. And don't go, for the love of God, don't go in it for the fame or money because you might not even see any of them.
Mm, mm. Yes.
I'm not
If you
trying to be
don't love what
negative, but
you do, yes.
some people, again, work, and they working actors, but only like 1 or 2% are the famous ones. The rest are all living a good life. They're not as famous. They look familiar. Like, people spot them. Like sometimes they know me from something that I just did. Yeah. Or sometimes they recognize you specifically from something. Sometimes you just look familiar. Yeah, because you've done so many things they don't know where. But guess what? One day, God willing, everybody will know because that's when people start looking up. Oh, like certain actors when all of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, because again in Hollywood, your overnight sensation is 10 to 20 years in the making. That's what they say. An overnight sensation is actually 20 years in the making of you pounding the pavement and staying on that trajectory. Um, Unlike the 1-2% exceptions that happen. But you gotta always, yeah, keep thinking that you gotta keep that fire going inside of you because a lot of things and life is hard and life is not fair.
No, it's not.
You can either play the victim card or you can just figure it out, find ways, figure
Hmm.
it out, and try to understand a lot of different things, even as an actor. It could be reading, it could be painting. I used to paint years ago. I'm an award-winning photographer too. I'd like to circle back and get into it, but like whatever creative outlet that helps you heal
And stay grounded.
and stay grounded. Exactly, and
Yes.
stay grounded and focused because your focus is you cannot have your focus all over the place. No, no.
No.
And if you don't know how to shift your focus back into place, the universe will do that for you. They'll help you out. Yep.
Yes. And sometimes in funny way.
Uh-huh. Yes, thank you. That was being sarcastic because yes, I didn't mean it positively. The
I know.
universe will ground you, will humble you, you know?
Yeah. And Danny, what are you up to now?
What am
Are
I
you
up to?
yes, are you
I'm
preparing
gonna
any
go and
project?
cook in a little bit.
Oh, what are you cooking?
I'm doing a pork loin.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, not the souvlaki. We're doing the whole loin grilled and some mashed potatoes tonight. Yeah, yeah. But but to be more serious, I am currently actively trying to get in addition to obviously the auditions that I'm getting, I'm sending out. I'm actively trying to push my film and TV projects that I have. I have several, maybe 8 or 10 projects that I'm trying to get off the ground through my production company, looking for investors, producers. But again, they work differently because TV is something and film is something else.
Yeah.
TV, we're looking for like producers who have, who have an end, who have a deal with Amazon, Netflix, who can take the show and package me with the show and get it off the ground. The streamers, they front the money, it's an original, and then the production house does it and hands it over. But for film, we're looking for investors also to produce these projects, and they're different genres, different budgets. Uh, Set here, they can be shot here, they can be shot anywhere.
Mhm.
We can do them in Europe. I'm open. I'm open to the right person seeing the potential and the passion for these projects that I have already for these projects.
Yes.
So you're an actor too, aren't you, Anna?
Yes, yes, of course, yeah.
What are you up? What are you up to?
Right now, I'm performing in the theater. We're doing Oscar's
Nice.
Wilde, the picture of Dorian Gray.
We just saw the movie the other day,
Yeah,
the black and white Dorian Gray. Yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing. Congratulations. We're in
thank you.
Athens, right? You're doing it.
Nothing. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
How did I not meet you 2 years ago
I don't
when we
know.
were
I don't know.
there?
When are you coming to Greece again?
Buddy, might be soon. Might be soon. I'm I'm really feeling maybe relocating.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's something I've been considering and working towards maybe. So yeah, again, like I said, I mean, we connect with the right tribe, the right people, we make it happen. If it's in Greece, let's go. If
Come
it's
in Greece.
in
Always better in Greece.
I want to. My cousin's waiting. She's like, "When are you guys moving to Greece?" I'm like,
Oh,
no.
you have to think about it seriously.
Yeah. Well, I told her we're 1 step closer. We're in Florida instead of California, so we're
So
halfway there.
yeah, you're coming here slowly.
Yes. I said we made the first step. So yeah, that might be something that's on the table too that I'm also considering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
we gotta find some time to talk also off the show
we will. We will. Of course
and
we will.
see. Yeah,
But I want you
because
to answer my last question. Who is Danny when the spotlight fades?
um,
And there's no one watching. Like, who is Danny alone?
I'm just a passionate, easygoing, very easygoing, unless somebody you know tries to
Yeah.
mess with me. Very easygoing, chill, loving, kind. I don't know. It feels funny, like you're giving yourself compliments, uh, but I think I want to, because over the years, a lot of people misconstrued, misunderstood. I think I'm a person who's very misunderstood, very,
Why so? Why do you think?
because a lot of people think I am a totally different person than what I really am. For the ones that don't know me, I don't care, you know.
Mhm.
But for the ones that are there, and they say certain things, and which I've heard or seen, it, it it's it hurts. You don't like I said at the beginning of the show. Sometimes things happen from your closest people in your life. It's sad. Like
Yeah.
certain people that you fully trust, they,
Hmm.
that they backstab you and say things. I'm like, you know what? But I came to a point in my life where, I hand it to God. I leave it in God's hand. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here to correct anyone. I'm not here to correct stupid. I'm not here to correct anybody who's gonna. I have a life to live, and I'm living it. Well, as hurtful as it is, I am not that person that certain people think that, oh, he's, he's like conceited, he's too arrogant, he thinks he's something. No, no, no. People, over the last 10, 20 years, a lot of people have come into my life, come in and out, in and out. Some of them out, some of them stayed. And I cherish these people, and they cherish my friendship too. I have friends that I was friends with 30, 40 years ago. We're still in touch.
Hmm.
So if this is not telling of what kind of person that you are, then nothing is.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't think people should be judging anyone. The only person who judges us is God. And
Hmm.
I always say, if I owe you anything, come and get it. You know, tell me and I'll give it back to you if I owe you anything. And I don't owe anybody anything but God. All the glory in everything. So I've learned to become more forgiving.
Hmm. Yes.
But I am a dad. I am a husband. I am an artist in all different ways. And sometimes I put on the smart cap with other things in life. So I feel like sometimes I'm like this or that. Like it's all a balance, and life is just a balance. You got to keep balance until you get it. If you're
Yeah.
lucky enough, then fortunate enough. Yeah,
Mhm. So, Danny, thank you so much for being here.
my pleasure.
It
My pleasure.
was
Thank you,
wonderful.
Anna. Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.
And to all of you, remember, Ego was here, you were here, and that's enough.